Man, I really, really do miss old school Nickelodeon. Granted, I was more of a Cartoon Network guy back then, but Nickelodeon really did have some kick ass shows. You know, I mean, it's just a shame that, there aren't that many good cartoons out nowadays. Especially Nickelodeon went downhill the most. I mean, at least Cartoon Network has, like, regular show, and Toonami's back to a certain extent, and Cartoon Network also has Adult Swim. But Nickelodeon, like, they tried to air like the '90s or all that on Teen Nick, which depending on like which provider you have, you might not get that channel. I know if you have like, cause I have fucking Verizon Fios, and we get Teen Nick and stuff, but sometimes I'm working like the closing shift, so I don't even get to watch it or anything like that. It's best to just like put these shows on like Netflix, release them on DVD. I know Shout Factory's been releasing a lot of these shows on DVD, but they should like kind of air these shows like on normal hours, like so kids could watch them. I mean, it's kind of like stupid, like how people say like, oh, the '90s are all that, and like if they're so all that, why don't you air them like with the regular shows that are on TV now, like. I mean, like you can make space. I mean, I don't even know what's on Nickelodeon nowadays. I don't even know the shows. I don't like honestly. I don't know what Nickelodeon airs nowadays. I don't really watch TV like that anymore. I'm more of an internet guy now. But it's just, I mean, I would air these shows like during the daytime so like kids could watch them. Like some of these shows weren't like personally. I wasn't a huge fan of like the Rugrats after 1994, 1995, because the show went downhill. It started to suck after that Dill baby was born. That Tommy's brother, Dill. I really I just stopped watching after that. Like if it was if I would like make sure it was like the old graphics. It was like the old graphics, and it was like an old episode from the early '90s, then I would watch it. But if it was like an episode from the late '90s, I would not watch it. I wouldn't even bother watching it because I just hated like the later seasons of Rugrats. It was just like so cheesy and boring, and it just wasn't as entertaining as like the earlier seasons were. So to me, I was always just by the time like the late '90s happened, I was more in the Cartoon Network anyway. I would still watch Nickelodeon from time to time from like for shows like Rocko's Modern Life, Keenan and Kel, like even in the early 2000s for stuff like Fairly Odd Parents and Drake and Josh, stuff like that. Cat Dog was badass. Ren and Stimpy was fucking awesome. you know Angry Beavers, I wasn't too huge of a fan of. I mean, I don't know why either. It wasn't like it was a horrible show, but I just never really got into it. Our Real Monsters, same thing. Never really got into it. Hey Arnold, I started to like later in its later seasons. Because like in the early seasons, I wasn't really like too huge into it. It was just like it was kind of like if there's nothing else to watch Hey Arnold. But to me, I'm honestly I'm not a huge fan of it like everyone else is. Like everyone else loves that show. I'm not really a huge fan of it like that. I kind of like liked it in the later seasons. Like I don't know why either. I mean, I watched the earlier seasons, but I kind of like the later seasons more. I think the show matured a little more. With like Lila, like certain characters like Lila and Helga G. Pataki. Finding out more about her backstory and why she's such a bitch and stuff like that. Because her father was a beeper salesman. Oh God, you just think of the '90s. You think beeper salesman, and her mother was kind of like a just out of it. She was like always out of it. And her older sister was like so perfect and everything, and it's hard to like compete with that. And I can relate to that shit too because I have like so many overachievers in my family that it's just like holy shit. Like, well, not so many, but like a few of them that always like to brag and be cocky about it. But that's what I think of Hey Arnold. It got better in its later seasons. When the characters start to develop more. I I wasn't like crazy about it, you know. And you know, Doug I actually liked. I don't know why I like Doug. I don't know why. I guess I don't even know why. Honestly, it was like one of those shows that was just like so chill. And so, I mean, it was like a cheesy show too. It was like so cheesy. Like, who the hell, like, Patty Mayonnaise? Like, a name like that is just so fucking, like, gay and cheesy. But at the same time, it was like, you know, this show is alright. It's alright. It's a cool show. You know, you had Skeeter, who was like blue, and he was like making all these weird noises and shit. And, you know, it was cheesy. You know, Doug was like really kind of nerdy. You know, but it was like a cheesy show, but it was a good show. It was like a good show. It was like, I don't know why. It was just like one of those shows. It was like, it's cheesy, but I like it. You know, I don't know why. And SpongeBob, it was alright. I mean, I had never really watched SpongeBob like that. I never really watched it, but I saw like some episodes with my nephew and stuff like that. I kind of really like. I never really watched it. It just looked. It looked like a cheesy show to me, like a yellow sponge, and I don't know. I just never really watched it that much. I watched a few episodes, um, and it was actually not too bad. It was actually pretty good, you know. But I don't know. I was just like a huge fan of like Cat Dog, Ren and Stimpy, Invader Zim was awesome. Loved Invader Zim. You know, I do think that it gets too much praise from the Hot Topic crowd, the goth crowd, but, you know, that was a badass show, period. And I was surprised that they aired something like that on Nickelodeon. But then again, they did it was a lot more watered down than, like, Jonan Vasquez's, like, other works, like Squee and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I mean, like, that shit could never air on Nickelodeon. I don't even know if that shit could air on MTV, to be honest with you. Maybe. Because MTV's so raunchy nowadays, but who knows. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a video I wanted to do. I might do a video like this for Cartoon Network as well. But I really wanted to like talk about like Nickelodeon, like some of the shows I really enjoyed. You know, like I was a huge fan of like Kenan and Kel. The Amanda Show is my favorite. I love the Amanda Show, man. I love that show more than anything. That was like the show. You know, that was like the best show. Like, well, not the best show, but it was just like one of the best like stand-up sketch comedy shows on Nickelodeon. Like, it to me, it was better than All That. I liked it way more than All That. You know, it was way funnier, man. Like the Block Blister sketches, like, this movie better, much better. And, you know, it was just like stuff like that. It was just like funny as shit. And I remember like what's his name? I forgot the older guy on the show. He played with Amanda Bynes in that sketch where they would like run this restaurant, and they would either be like sushi people or cookie people or like soup people. I loved those sketches, man. I loved them shits. I was like, this shit is better than Good Burger. Like that shit was hilarious. That shit was so funny. That could have actually been like a really cool. I don't know. I think after like a lot of people complained about Good Burger, and I thought Good Burger was alright. I thought it was a pretty cool movie. I don't know why everyone hated it, but I know it has like somewhat of a cult following now. I know some people love it, some people hate it, but you know, I honestly probably because of that, Nickelodeon doesn't want to do sketch comedy shows like movies based on like sketches from like comedy shows. But basically, you know, that's pretty much all I had to say. I was inspired to make this video after watching IGN's Nickelodeon Nicktoons list. I was inspired by that, and I'll leave a link in the description of that video, because that video actually inspired me to make this video. So, you know, for all you guys who grew up in the 90s watching like Nicktoons and stuff like that, you know, rock on. It was great. It was kick-ass times. You know, even like some of the cheesy shows that weren't even that good, that I didn't really like, were still watchable. Like, I remember, like, if there was nothing else on TV, I would like tune on to Wild Thornberrys, just because like there was nothing else on TV to watch. And, you know, like some episodes were actually pretty decent. Like, some of them were boring, some of them were just like, yeah, like I was just like, eh. But like, if there's nothing else to watch on, you know, just pop in a frozen pizza, watch some like Nickelodeon cartoons, even if they weren't your favorite. Like Rocket Power, I was never a huge fan of. I never really cared about Rocket Power. To me, Nickelodeon just started going downhill in the later part of the 90s. You know, I mean, aside from like Invader Zim, Fairly Odd Parents, and like Drake and Josh and stuff like that, I really didn't really care about Nickelodeon that much anymore. I was more into Cartoon Network and shows like Ed, Edd and Eddy and Toonami and stuff like that. But Nickelodeon did have its fair share of kick-ass stuff, and you know, it's way better than the stuff that's on now. I mean, I can't even watch TV now. I like literally I can't even watch adult shows on TV because they're so boring. Like the only show that I really got into for a little bit was How I Met Your Mother. That show was pretty funny, you know, starring Neil Patrick Harris and a few other guys who were really funny on that show. But like aside from that, I tried watching Two and a Half Men. Show is like very same old shit. I mean, especially for like the first few seasons, it was like Charlie, like he tries to be a bad boy. He tries to like get a girl. Alan can't get a girl because he's too nerdy. You know, he can't even get custody of his son. You know, and he doesn't want it either because, you know, he doesn't want his son always around into his personal life. But like, and the son, you know, he's funny, but it's just like, to me, it was just like that show just became same old shit. It was just, like once you knew the characters, like Berta and stuff like that. Berta was cool. Berta was a cool character, but it's just like Two and a Half Men got boring as shit real quickly. I mean, I watched like a few episodes with the Ashton Kutcher replacing Charlie Sheen. I actually like Ashton Kutcher way more than Charlie Sheen. I don't care what anyone says, but I still don't really care about this show. You know, I mean, yeah, it's just my opinion. I can't get into TV like that anymore. I can't, like, it's like, even with anime, you know, like I'm really trying to like I'm trying to find like some free time so I can watch some fucking Black Butler. And I got to get my I don't know what's wrong with my Netflix account, you know, but I can't log in, so I'm trying to like I gotta reset it one of these days. You know, right now I'm not actually on my way to work. I just wanted to make this video real quick, but yeah, pretty much. And Netflix is another thing that went downhill. Netflix fucking sucks. They took out so much shit from that fucking thing. It's like, why? Like, I'm literally about to I might even just cancel my subscription. I don't even know. I mean, like, just like, I don't know, because like a week ago, like I was having password trouble. I gotta fix it. One of these days, you know, just with work and just being lazy, just not giving a shit. But you know how it is. But yeah, I mean, you know, old school Nickelodeon was fucking awesome. You know, I might even start buying, because the only show I have from Nickelodeon on DVD is Rocko's Modern Life. I might get Cat Dog on DVD because I really love Cat Dog. I might have to get Ren and Stimpy on DVD. Because I don't know. Like, I always, like, whenever I saw it, like if I went to like Best Buy, because I don't have a Walmart next to me, but whenever I went to like Best Buy, it was always like so overpriced for like certain seasons. So I was just like, shit, man, that's too expensive, you know. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. You know, I had Invader Zim on DVD, but I basically gave it to my my neighbors because they really loved the show, and they were like, their kids growing up, so you know, they really loved it. So I just gave it to them. I donated it because I didn't really watch it that much anymore. I've seen like almost every episode so many times, so it's like. But yeah, I mean, that's just my thoughts on Nickelodeon. You know, rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. What was your favorite Nicktoon? What was your favorite Nickelodeon show back in the day? Leave it in the comment section. You know, all that good shit. You know, basically, you know, I mean, like, honestly, I don't know if some of you guys still watch cartoons now. If you do, like, what cartoons do you watch nowadays? But yeah, this is just like, what animes do you watch and stuff like that. Leave it in the comments. You know, I might do a Cartoon Network video to this, and I might just do an Even Stevens video because I didn't watch Disney Channel too much. I did watch like some shows like Goof Troop and stuff, but like, and like Gargoyles and stuff, but like, to me, Even Stevens was the best Disney Channel show ever, and I might just do a video about that and why I love that show so much and why it is the only thing I can watch. Literally, the only thing I could watch was Shia LaBeouf in it, because I hate Shia LaBeouf. He's a fucking douchebag. But that show, Even Stevens, was the fucking shit. I love it, and I might do a video about that later. But right now I got to get ready to go to work, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. Leave a comment, and later.